Damon Martin, MMA fighting here with one championship fighter, Sage Northcutt. Sage, welcome back. I know we've talked a couple of times over the last couple of years, but now we're talking about you fighting again, which I know has got to be exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm super excited. April 29th overseas, April 28th here in the US on TNT. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. So, Sage, we talked a lot, after your last fight dealing with the facial injuries. Obviously, you're healthy and back in action now, but man, how has the waiting game been? Because I know it's got to be frustrating. You're a professional athlete. You want to be fighting, but obviously you got to worry about your health. So, kind of give me a sense of like what the last couple of years have been like for you now that you are finally ready to fight again.
Man, it's been kind of crazy. Obviously, every sport has injuries, but on top of that, when COVID hit all around the United States and overseas, it kind of shut down a lot of stuff. So especially me training out in California's kind of been shut down for such a long time. So I'm actually super excited to be able to get back in training and be training for this fight because the fans are going to love it. And I know the fans are going to be excited to see some fights going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in terms of, I know from when we spoke last, I know it's been a little while, but last time we spoke, you said everything had pretty much healed, but you were just kind of easing back into training. Now, obviously, you're deep into a training camp. I assume everything is okay in terms of like the injury and everything, in terms of like taking punches and sparring and things like that. Is that accurate?
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm healed up. I'm good.
So coming back from that, obviously you never got out of shape. I follow you on Instagram. Trust me, I know you never get out of shape, but how was that, getting back into fighting again? Because obviously you can train, you can work out, but getting back into a fight camp is different. So how has that been?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely different. You can go outside and train all the cardio you want, running, doing road work, riding bikes, hitting the gym, whatever you're doing, plyometrics. But actually having those live goes and live scenarios like wrestling, striking, those kind of things, that's just totally different. So exactly like you said, getting back into it, obviously having time off, healing up after COVID and stuff, just getting back into shape was a big thing. But I'm always walking around in shape, like you said, and it wasn't too hard for me.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the feeling like when you were finally able to call one championship and tell them you were ready to fight and they booked you? Like, can you kind of give me a sense of the emotion of that? Because you fought tons of times. You've been doing martial arts since you were a kid, but to be away for 2 years, I know how tough that was.
Oh, you know it. Man, I was getting antsy. I can tell you that. I don't even like talking about what happened because it's the past, but like right off the bat, like I was already trying to get out doing cardio and start training again. And obviously I wanted to get back out there as soon as possible, but things happened and then COVID happens all around the United States and overseas and stuff. So for me, it was stunk to have to wait so long. Definitely stinks, but to be back now and having a fight scheduled, can't even tell you how excited I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know we talked about this before, but you made your one championship debut at welterweight, but you told me right after that you were going to go back to lightweight. This fight is at lightweight. Now, again, I know they have slightly different divisions in one championship versus the UFC and other places, but how has that been in terms of like, were you pretty excited to kind of return to lightweight and fight in what I believe you told me was a more natural division for you?
Absolutely. So my first fight with one championship, I felt like obviously I didn't get to show anything that I had worked or didn't get to show anything. So for me, going down a weight class to lightweight, which is 170 pounds, I feel like that's going to be great for me. Plus I'm excited to get back out there and show what I've been working on and my skill set. So I'm really pumped.
I know you're a willing guy to basically fight whoever they put in front of you. I know even when you were in the UFC, you were never picking and choosing your opponents, but getting a guy like Shinya Aoki, the guy is a freaking legend. He's fought everybody. He's been a champion. Obviously one of the greatest grapplers to ever compete in this sport. As a guy coming back, were you pretty excited for this matchup?
I could definitely tell you that for sure. Definitely excited. Like you're saying, he's a legend in the sport. He was the champ 8 months ago, I believe. Won his last 3 fights after that. He's a legend. He's had 55 pro fights. So for me to have this fight, I'm super excited for it. I'm pumped up to get out there. In fact, that's a weight class down from my previous fight. So I'm really excited, He's had a ton of experience, but I'm also excited to show what I'm made of.
You are a true mixed martial artist, Sage, and you're a true martial artist, and you've been that way your entire life. I don't think it's any giant secret what Shinya Aoki does well. He's a tremendous grappler, as I said, one of the greatest submission fighters to ever compete in the sport. Now, he might come out there and start throwing, flying Superman punches at you, but I'm just going to guess that's probably not going to happen. You got to know going in, he's probably going to try to take you down. He's going to try to grapple you. How do you approach that? Don't give away your game plan, obviously, but how do you approach that when you kind of know what your opponent's going to do? Like, you got a pretty good idea what he's going to try to do.
I mean, like you say, he's a great grappler. The thing is, you have to be ready for anything. So just like I'm training Team Alpha Male, you have to be ready for all the worst case scenarios too, the best case scenarios. I mean, you can make a game plan, even though I'm not going to give away any game plan, but you can make a game plan and you get out there and things go totally different than what you're expecting. So just being prepared for the unexpected is always a big thing, and just be ready for whatever happens out there, whatever's thrown at you.
Yeah. We see this a lot when fighters take on wrestlers. You get so focused on the takedown that it kind of takes you out of everything else you're doing because you're just so worried about the takedown. You might stop the takedown, but then you forget, like, oh yeah, I gotta punch this guy too. Like, I gotta create some offense. Is that kind of a thing you have to be careful of with a guy like Aoki, because he might die for your ankles. He might try to pull guard. He might do a lot of different things to pull you into his world, but I imagine you can't overthink that, right?
Right. I mean, you have to be prepared for it. He's a skilled opponent. He's 55 pro fights and he was a champ. So definitely have to be ready for anything. I mean, he's had so much experience. So definitely not something to overlook for sure. Yeah.
Now, in terms of your own readiness coming back for this fight, getting prepared, you mentioned you're working at Team Alpha Male. I know you've been with that team for a long time. Uriah Faber, a great team out there. How has that been, coming back from the injury, getting back into fight shape, working with that team, those coaches? I mean, again, great team out there. You've worked with them for a while, but how has it been coming back, but also preparing for this fight against a guy like Aoki?
I think it's great. I mean, Uriah Faber, he's a super smart coach, UFC Hall of Famer, one of the most talented guys I know, great mentors, plus the other coach in there, Danny Castillo, Chris Holdsworth, Joey. I can list so many different coaches that are so skilled there. So it's a great team for me to be with, and I'm so happy their gym's open too.
Yeah. How has it been working with Chris Holdsworth? Because I imagine with Shinya Aoki, that's a great guy you're going to be working with. Chris, I don't think gets enough credit for how great of a jiu-jitsu coach he is. I remember talking to him when Cody Garbrandt was getting ready to fight Dominic Cruz, and he said what a huge part of the camp that was, in case Dominic tried to take him down. And, Chris is a tremendous jiu-jitsu fighter. I imagine that's a huge asset for you in this camp.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chris Holdsworth, he's super skilled. He was, I don't know if you know his stats or not, but he won, I think it was the Tough show. He won the UFC Ultimate Fighter show, and then he was undefeated, I believe, and he's so skilled. His jiu-jitsu is super, super incredible. So, yeah, definitely a big part of it for sure.
Yeah. Now you're jumping right back into the deep end of this division, Sage. You're not asking for like a warm-up. You're taking on the former champion. As you said, his last loss was when he lost the title to Christian Lee, who's the current champion. He's won 3 in a row since then. I mean, are you happy that you're not only jumping back into action, but you're jumping into like the very, very deep end of this division?
Yeah, I'm going back down to weight class. So if you look back at my my fighting career with the UFC, I was 5-0 at 155 pounds, which is a lightweight. This is their lightweight division for one championship. So I'm excited to get back out there with such a talented opponent, but also my skill set too. I feel like my last fight, that was only one fight, my last fight, and things happen. I mean, you can get the best fighter out there, no matter who they are, the champion, but everyone gets beat sometimes, and someone might get beat in 5 seconds flat. So you can't just go by one fight. So I'm looking forward to this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one lightweight division is incredibly stacked. I mean, obviously you got Christian Lee at the top. You got a legend like Eddie Alvarez in there. Timofey Nasiukin, who's going to be fighting for the title coming up. We saw the Grand Prix, Doggy, all the other guys in here. I mean, is there some excitement also, not looking past Aoki, but just knowing how deep this division is, because there are a lot of great matchups for you in this division.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have so much talent. One championships, every single division at one championship, they have so many world champions, the most world champions out of any league in the world. And there's every one of those guys are so skilled. So definitely, but right now looking at Shinya Aoki and not looking past that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Shinya Aoki, April 28th. But give me an idea, Sage. You're not looking past that fight in any way, shape, or form. What does an ideal 2021 look like for you in terms of activity now that you're back? Like, would you like to get, I imagine, 2 or 3 fights in this year? Like, what does an ideal year look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just like you said, I like to have 2, 3 fights. If I can, 3 fights this year, that'd be amazing. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to be back. Excited to have this fight scheduled, but also excited to have so many more this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, on top of your fight career, if you actually, when you're fighting and you're busy training, you're always doing things like that. But of course, I gotta also wish you congratulations because you got married last year, which I imagine that was a very big deal for you as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, thanks. Yeah, my wife Amanda, she's so talented. She's an actress, also does voiceover artist. She's on like Netflix show called Troll. She plays Poppy. She's another show called Amphibia. She's so talented. So also great sense of humor and super hilarious. Great wife.
How has married life been treating you?
Man, it's been great. Especially with COVID and everything. We got to spend so much time together. So it's been really great.
Yeah. Now, I know in the past there's been rumors that, maybe you were going to dabble in acting a little bit. Obviously, she's an actress. Now, you're focused on your fight career right now, but is that something you will maybe pursue in the future? Maybe do something with your wife? Maybe you guys can get in a movie or something together?
Absolutely. That'd be so cool. You mentioned that I actually had an agent and manager that were going to try to push me for some acting in the meantime, but COVID kind of shut everything down, so I actually haven't been on even one audition. But I definitely want to do that for sure. I could see myself, I could do all the tricks, the stunts. Obviously, I have my wife who's an actress and could take coaching classes and stuff, but definitely could see myself doing action movies and things like that in the future.
Well, you say your nickname is Super Sage Northcutt. I mean, come on, Marvel, DC. I mean, that seems like a natural fit for you, right?
That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah, well, that's like I said, because I know your wife. I've seen her in some stuff, and it's like it's so crazy. Like it's just so awesome, and I'm sure, like I said, there's one benefit of the pandemic. I'm sure it allows you guys to actually have some time together because, again, normally with your fight schedule, I'm sure with her work schedule, you guys would be traveling and working and be kind of busy. So I'm sure for your first little bit of your marriage, I'm sure it was nice to actually spend some time together.
Right, absolutely, you're exactly right.
Well, Sage, I know it's been a little while, but I'm sure when you saw this fight got announced, you saw the buzz online, you saw the excitement online. You got to feel good. The fans are excited to see you back. I mean, everyone was just exploding with excitement when the announcement came. I know you as a fighter, you feel that, and I'm sure you appreciate that. The people are so excited to see you back.
Oh, yeah, I'm so thankful people have been looking forward to it. For all the fans that have been waiting, and it's been quite a while. I mean, I would have liked to gotten out sooner and had a fight before now, but obviously I was healing. Then I had COVID, and COVID was going on everywhere, so many things were shut down. But I'm excited to get back out there.
Yeah, if there's been one benefit to deal with the injury and the time off, you're still a very young guy. I mean, you started this so young. You still got a long ways ahead of you. So I guess if you want to try to take a positive of this whole thing, at least it happened, during this part of your career. You're still young. You're still healthy. You still got a lot of road left in front of you, right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Well, Sage, thank you so much for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. It's great to have you back. Have a good rest of your training camp. Safe travels out to the fight. Cannot wait to see you back in action April 28th against Shinya Aoki. And thank you for doing this today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you bet. Hey, thanks for the time.
All right, talk to you soon.